Hello everyone, welcome to PLD Disc Golf, and I'm coming at you with coverage from the BloNo Bash, one of the Greater Peoria Tour stops, and I'm not alone. I've got Ben Wyckoff.
Hello, I'm back. How's it going, Payton?
Pretty good. Happy that you could join me here for this. We're in Bloomington, a little outside of the Peoria Frisbee Club area, but we are going to be slinging some discs in some really great weather. Really open course, but the wind is down, at least in the first round. I think it picks up a little bit in the second round. But
yeah, but a beautiful day. Wind's down for especially what we get at Maxwell. It's always howling out here, so.
Absolutely. And this is my first time at Maxwell, actually.
Oh, really?
I've never been out to play around, but after seeing it, I am very interested in getting back out there. So
yeah, it's just a fun park-style course. Not super challenging. There's definitely birdies to get out there, but it has some teeth too, so.
Absolutely. And actually one of the ones that has teeth is this very first hole. So there are a few holes with some long pads, but every single hole has two baskets. And so these flyovers are going to kind of show you a little bit of what to expect for both of them. So we're flying down a really straight fairway, and it breaks a little bit to the left, at least the main part of the fairway, but there are a little bit of room to the right to be able to hang something out wide towards the road and hit the gold baskets, which is what we're shooting to today. So two really powerful shots, two 400 footers.
Yeah, 815 with OB in play. It's a tough hole. And there's our starting horn.
Tee off.
Let's see who we've got on the card today. Looks like we have Dane starting us out.
Yes, we do.
Oh, shout out to Dalton, our TD guy who's running all these events. What a dude.
Yeah, he's been surprising us with a lot of great disc golf and well-organized events. So, yeah, a solid shot here from Dane to get us started off.
Yeah, burnt it over a little bit. We usually get a headwind on this hole coming off the highway, so that's going to put him out of birdie potential, but it's a fine shot for par.
Yeah.
You really, like you said, you need to smash two shots to have a look at birdie on this one. This looks like a really nice flight.
Yeah, and Brandon is actually new to the coverage. He is a Bloomington guy, and following him is Mark Bailey as well, new to the coverage, Bloomington area.
Yep.
He's going to show us how...
Oh, yeah. Fights out a little, or doesn't fight out at all, sorry. That might be the touch of headwind getting him, or just flexed on a little bit too hard, but I like that play. And It looks like we've got Jared again on our coverage, and shocking everyone, he might be going for the wide hyzer line. Let's see what he's got. Oh yeah, so this is a play that you need to be a big arm to be taking, kind of out over the road, swinging back, and wow, that's pretty well down the fairway. That's a nice shot from Jared.
Yeah, it is. He surprises me with how much snap he gets on that really strong hyzer.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a huge run up, not a ton of speed going into it, and then just absolutely bombs. Another returning member to our coverage, Carson Fowler, who we've seen on a couple different rounds now, I believe.
Yes.
Young gun out of Bloomington. I think he's 17 years old. So we've got Dane, who's 16, and Carson, who's 17.
Yeah.
Just two young guns absolutely killing it in the local scene. So great to see.
And seeing them come back, it goes to show exactly how good that they are. And
Oh,
the fact
goodness,
that
yeah.
Dalton does a little bit of kind of card rearrangement for the feature card, at least for these events, so he knows who's most exciting to put here on the card. But Mr. Mark, he's showing us that age is just a number, our senior on the card, and he is a little bit left on that.
So I've played some tournaments where that left side also plays OB, which makes it really, really hard this hole. So Mark would have been OB, Carson would be OB here, but thankfully Dalton's giving us a little bit of mercy and leaving that as inbounds playable, just, kind of natural hazard.
Sure.
So that's a nice shot from Carson. He should be able to get a pretty decent up and down from there.
The only time where I think where you try to put like unplayable areas as OB, so it's not like a double punishment, is for pace of play.
Yeah,
and so I don't think we were at critical mass here for pace of play, but we do have a 5-person card across the entire course.
Yeah.
So that could slow things down, but
I think it helped that I believe the other divisions were playing short pads.
Okay, that would help too.
might not be correct on that, but I'm
No,
pretty sure
yes,
I am.
there
I think
were
everyone's
MA3s,
playing to
MA4s.
gold basket, but I'm not sure if MA2 is playing long basket, but definitely some of the lower divisions were playing short pads, which definitely helps with just flow and pace of play when you've got a completely full course like we did today.
Absolutely. And I mean, here, in the grand scheme of things, if you're a solid shooter, you should always be hanging it like out to the right. I think in this one, expecting 2 400-footers for a birdie is pretty tough given our demographic, but
Yeah.
I think this one definitely hovers around par for the day, if not more. I guarantee it's more than par.
Yeah, this is actually playing as our third hardest hole on the first round.
Yeah.
Averaging .33 over par, so definitely playing tough.
I was swinging in from Dane and just gets caught up there.
Yeah, he'll still have a putt, but not an easy one. It looks like that small tree might be in his way.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, not exactly a forehand specialist, but that'll work.
Yeah, he's pitching out.
He'll be able to get up and down from there.
Actually, that might be even the opportunity to save the par out there, right? 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I think so.
So he'll have a long putt for par from there.
Yep.
Carson just looking to pitch up from here, I believe. That looks like his zone, so yeah.
Put a hyzer out there over the trees.
Exactly.
Can he execute? I really like his pull through on his backhand. He keeps everything on the same line. The disc, his arm, his follow through. It's very clean.
Yeah, he has a very direct kind of way of throwing. It works really well for him.
Yep.
That one gets kind of an unfortunate skip. You don't get a ton of skips out here. The grass is, especially early in the morning, you get a little bit of dew. It's not too wet or not too skippy, but that's kind of an unfortunate because I thought he played it really well.
Mm-hmm.
But
and just a couple pitch ups from Brandon and Mark. So while Jared's getting set up for his putt, I just wanted to comment on the course. Like this is one of the, I would say there's very few courses in the area where it is actually like dedicated disc golf space that is really well manicured. And so this entire property surprised me, after walking through on the camera at least.
Yeah.
It just blew me away. And there's not a whole lot of elevation. It's very much park style.
Good bid from Dane there.
Bid.
I think this is managed just by the Bloomington Park District. I'm not positive on that, but yeah, no, they absolutely do a great job of maintaining this place. And yeah, fairways every time I've been here have been mowed, well manicured. You've got this high grass that's off the fairway, but that's not, that's kind of a design choice more than a lack of maintenance, I would say. So
yep. So
yeah, it's a great place to play.
A fantastic place. So even if you are outside the area, worth traveling to come and see, especially since, if you want to make a day of it, you could play blues to warm up and then play golds in the afternoon.
Definitely. And there's a short kind of putter course, reds as well, that's on the property.
That's true. So that's a true
totally
warm-up.
separate from these blue and gold baskets. That's fun. For a while, we were playing a couple of the red baskets in tournaments here because there's a couple holes you'll see later on at the end of the front nine and start of the back nine that are back in the woods that they've been working on for a couple of years ever since I've been here.
Gotcha.
So those are finally completed. We've got them all in now.
Yeah. And those scores showing why that hole was over par. 2 bogeys, 3 pars. Sorry, Can't do maths in my head. Huge shout out to Power Grip. They are the presenting sponsor for the entire tour. Have come alongside of us to definitely support the tour. So thank you guys. When you're in Bloomington playing Maxwell Park, stop by their store.
Absolutely.
They got a lot of great goods for you. So here to hole 2. We're playing to the golds once again. So this is just try to pump something up over the trees, either a steep hyzer forehand or the backhand, and try to place it really close. So not a whole lot of airspace to kind of throw something more direct. So we'll see how Brandon attacks it with the lefty.
Yeah, I think usually this is kind of the play you're looking for. Just hyzer over the blue basket, try to skip something in towards the gold. Like you said, there are a couple low lines, but they're not really what you would want to be going for ideally.
Exactly. This will evolve over time, and that's actually something that would be very interesting to see is if we could fast forward 5 years, what happens to the fairways here with the trees maturing and growing to full size.
It's a nice shot from Jared and from Brandon. They'll both have birdie putts. It's like Dane's going a little bit faster with the driver here.
Flexing it, making it work.
I can't quite. This one definitely wants to be a little bit more of kind of a spike hyzer if you have it, more than that flex line, I think, but it's a tough shot to throw.
Yeah.
Mark doesn't like throwing the forehands as much, going for this tricky turnover line,
But I think with that, the tailwind will kind of sap the
Oh,
air
wow.
from underneath
Little,
the disc
yeah.
and just do that. That's
What a
great.
shot. Nice little flexor over the top. I thought it was going to keep turning. Nice shot, Mark. And Carson going for this forehand as well.
Yeah, keeping it on hyzer towards that left tree and just have a fade off of it would be kind of the play. You see if he flexes it.
Oh, he's going up the gut.
I think that was an early release.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah. But the way he came out of his hand, I'm not sure if he's going low or high there.
True.
Either way, he's got a long putt for birdie. This is definitely one you want to, when you're game planning ahead of time, feels like one you should be getting if you have that forehand.
Yep.
Dane just leaves his a little short.
And I will recommend, if you're coming out here, get your putting on point. You're just needing to practice on flat ground because there's very few like elevation or say angled greens.
Yep.
Everything is flat ground out here for the most part, but the obstacles are the wind and the foliage you have to get around. But Carson.
And the baskets.
Oh, and the baskets too.
I don't like these baskets. Speaking from a personal level, you can kind of see here, they're the baskets themselves. The cages are very shallow. These are the disc golf park baskets. The chains, I think, don't catch very well.
Sure.
You see a lot of spit throughs and kind of push outs off the pole. And this is one of the only baskets that I'm really worried about making sure my card mates clear the basket, because you will definitely see a trampoline if you don't get that out of there with the shallow
Great
shallow
tee shot
cages.
and great putt from Mark. So
Yeah.
very confident and high.
Very nice birdie.
Oh,
and a good birdie from Jared as well.
Yep, very good. Mark's look right there was actually for CTP. This is a CTP hole, and he just realized he picked up his disc without actually marking it. But I think we worked it out in the grand scheme of things. That's what happens off camera. But if you were wondering why he looked like that with a birdie, it's like, why are you making that look when you had the best shot you could?
That's funny.
Yeah. All right, Prodigy Discs doing huge stuff here in Central Illinois. They have supported the tour, and every single event has had a Prodigy Disc as a part of the players pack, and it's been great stuff. I've been discovering more and more about them as the year goes on, so thank you guys for kicking to the tour.
Yeah.
And a really tough par 3 here.
Yeah.
So hole 3, almost 400 feet. There's some roughage around the green, and it's hard to really kind of pick your line. I think Jared's going to shoot for the open fairway here, the very first gap, and just have a baby hyzer that kind of flips up and then fades back out.
Yeah, this is kind of his neutral flip up to fade, like you said, fairway driver. It's just tough to get it there.
Yeah, that was exactly on the line he wanted to put it, but it was just a little too low. Had that had a little bit more air underneath it, it would have been a great spot.
Absolutely. Mark, I'm not sure if he's going for this flex play or trying to put it up the middle. Either way, it'll work for par. Yeah. He's probably got about 150 in from there.
Sure.
This is a tough lefty hole. As a lefty speaking, yeah, you got to try for this turnover, but it's got to hold the whole way. Yeah. That's a good shot. He'll have a, 40-footer from there, it looks like, from the weeds.
I didn't see where it came in, but it's long. It's
not going to be easy, but he'll have a look from there. Dane just comes out on a little bit of Annie.
Yeah, I think he wanted that to be a little bit more overstable than he was expecting, trying to hit that flat and let it fade off. It doesn't guarantee a closer lie to the basket, but it's more consistent.
Yeah, they should have tailwind based on the other wind on the other holes.
Yeah, I'm seeing the grass kind of move over to the left.
This is Thunderbird, I believe, from Carson. That's a nice shot.
That's great.
I can't tell if it gets the skip or not, but he'll have a putt.
A little bit of motion. I think he's at about 40 feet right
now. There you go. Yeah, and that doesn't kill you on this hole, because this one par plays. This is, I should note, another hole that a lot of tournaments, there's a creek on the left. A lot of times that'll play as OB.
Oh, okay.
Today, Dalton was, again, kind to us and leaving it as inbounds.
Sure.
So, giving us a little bit more benefit, letting the players attack a little more. I like to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will always advocate...
Yeah, for Brandon.
I will always advocate to let a course be played if there's intermittent OBs played different ways. Don't go with it unless, I mentioned before, unless you're trying to keep pace of play going.
Yeah.
I really think that.
Oh, wow. That's a great bid from Dane. He looks disappointed, but that's it's bonus. It's a good run. It's definitely a bonus birdie, for sure. Yeah. Carson for birdie as well.
He wants to offset that bogey on hole 1.
Yeah. Wow, that is clean.
And he does it, yeah.
What a putt.
He was in circle 2 there, but he just kind of stood and delivered.
Circle 2, yeah. And that is actually our only birdie on the round on that hole.
Really?
Played right at even par, 1 birdie, 1 bogey on the round.
I'm surprised you said given the...
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't play harder.
Yeah.
For me, I guess maybe the lefty perspective, it plays a little bit harder where we have to turn something over. But it's a tough hole, man.
I think that really goes to show what people's mindsets, like how it changes how people react to a hole. So if this one was like labeled a par 4, I think some people might have been aggressive. It would have played under par, obviously, but I think there would have been a lot more pars and much less eagles, so to speak.
Sure.
So it would have played a little bit harder than it is as a par 3.
Yeah.
This is now a part of the NADGT tour. We are there's some benefits that NADGT has reached out to us, being able to extend some invitations to the championship to some players. So thank you guys for elevating this tour. And another pretty long distance hole is 350 feet uphill.
Yeah.
It's a hole 4, par 3. So they're playing it pretty much a straight shot. You see the basket there. It's deliver it as straight as you can. However, it gets there.
Yeah, this one's weird for me because it says 350 on the sign, and then you look at it and it's uphill, but it doesn't necessarily feel like Carson's going mid here.
Really, maybe it's closer.
I don't think it quite plays 350 because I feel like I crush something and I go deep, and I don't have that big of an arm, so I don't know. I could be wrong there. Someone correct me in the comments.
Well, like I said, this is my first time here, man.
Yeah, so fair enough. Jared's going flippy fairway there, just catching the tree. I don't know. For him, I feel like he can just pump a hyzer and make do, but it's all right. Mark turns this over. Get a little friendly roll for him. Yeah, not quite. He'll have a 80-footer from there.
Yeah, I could see this course kind of slowly eating you away if you keep parring like on the front.
Definitely.
Especially in the open, I'll say. We have some wooded sections that we'll be getting to, I think at the very back end of the front.
Yep.
And then it'll be like the core part of the course. But especially out here in the open, you want to start scoring just to kind of give you confidence going into the woods.
Yeah, outside of 1 and 3, the front 9 plays pretty easy.
Yeah.
So you really want to be, this hole, the next 3 or 4 holes, you want to be attacking and getting your birdie looks because it gets trickier in the woods.
And not too many, let's say, great looks for Bird.
No.
So Dane just has to pitch up.
Yeah, it's a good approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark looking at kind of a similar...
I think that's a Berg bid.
Yeah, looks like it. There you go.
Which I've since learned, if you throw the Berg, you're never running it. It's always falling short.
I don't know. I've got a buddy who loves to just give him floaty runs with the Berg.
Great line.
Shout out Jonathan if you're watching.
Jonathan?
Yeah, one of my buddies from college.
Nice. Well, actually, I have a video I'm working on too where I threw the Berg for the first time.
Oh, okay.
And we'll call it an ace run.
Ooh,
all right.
Good Berg. So. Good bid from Brendan.
Yep.
All right. Well, stay tuned to PLD Disc Golf to check that one out. Make sure you subscribe, folks. All right. Dane's got his par look. Left it a little shorter than I thought. That's
He does.
Not happy with that one. That's unfortunate.
Yep.
Carson with the birdie bid. That is how you do it, folks. And he gets the CTP.
Yep. Yeah, so we're going to be working a lot of the CTPs here today. I don't have a lot of it on camera, but that's a lot of the operational stuff that, like I said, happens in the background. Good tap-in from Brandon and just some cleanup here. But going to Carson, actually, a quick note. Carson said he watched coverage for the first time, and I think he was at McNaughton when he first made coverage. And he's saying, you know, I'd never realized how long it took for me to putt. And so he's like, I learned and I tried to speed things up.
Yeah.
So huge shout out to OTB, fantastic online retailer. If you haven't checked out their website, just go there, browse it. You'll see lots of great stuff out there. As we move to hole 5.
Pictures, weights, dominess, stiffness on every disc.
OTB.
It's good stuff.
Great stuff. And this one, pick your line, open again, just fairly small trees. You have to pick and choose which ones you want to battle, but pretty straightforward. Most of these guys can put it in very close for a putt.
Yeah, usually looking to play just hyzer with a putter or a mid here, probably. 315 doesn't quite play that with the downhill.
Sure.
Yeah, it looks like Carson's going putter, but catches the
very first.
Yeah, kind of the one tree you just want to avoid either way. So
Yep.
Should be an easy par. Jared probably just going. I think just going Spike Kaiser here. Looks like his captain's Raptor.
Yeah, I think this hole will favor the right to left shot, just given the open airspace. You have the really tall tree on the far right side. That's pretty much out of the way for most of these plays, like this one. I think I lost this disc. And
yeah,
I think
that
he's
one
left.
Yeah, that one carried pretty far left. It looked like not quite as spiky as he wanted it, but that's definitely the play you're looking for. This is a good shot from Mark. If it sits down, yeah, very nice from Mark. That's the hyzer you're looking for. Tough lefty hole, though. I end up going forehand most of the time, but I've seen the flip up attempted.
And it's here.
Wow. Leaves it just a hair short, but that's a really nice shot from Brandon.
Yeah, this headwind, when you get it turned over and it gets nose down, it's just going to kind of shove down. So I think definitely hard to control the distance on that kind of line, but it's easy for the righties. So
yeah, and that's the nice shot from Dane. Definitely what you're looking for.
All I'll say is get a righty backhand, man.
Yeah, that'd be easier. I wish I could just throw my lefty forehand that same way, but I have to flex it on this hole because I'm weak.
That's all right.
Carson leaves a little bit of meat left on the bone there. Definitely a putt he can make, but you want that to be a little closer from that range.
Absolutely.
Jared, long birdie putt. Sorry, Jared, from the from the long grass here.
Whatever you do, don't go into the long grass.
No.
Unless you're gonna make it, but that was a good line.
With a bid like that, I'm comfortable calling it a birdie putt. There you go. Oh, nice putt from Brandon.
That is fantastic.
That's what you're looking for. I'm curious what he threw there. It looks like a fairway almost, but I'm not sure.
It turned quickly, like a more unstable fairway.
Some sort of leopard or leopardess disc.
Pretty routine bird there from
Yeah,
Dane.
good birdie from Dane. Nice drive. Just putting it where you want it. And it looks like Mark's going to take the same thing. Yeah. Although we got Carson out first.
Yeah. I'm taking a look at the scores here. We're through hole 5. These guys are definitely wanting a little bit more than one down.
Yeah, you want a little bit better than this probably. I mean, it's serviceable. You're not taking yourself out of the game with this, but yeah, you're looking to be hot round's going to be 3 down through 5 probably.
Ooh,
I noticed there you can see the little spits on the baskets there.
Absolutely.
They get a little scary.
Not to mention a toe on the disc from Jared. Man, take a peek at your foot. I don't know why I just caught it out of the corner of my eye, but no.
Yeah, you're not on the card anyway. You can't call it.
I am a registered tournament official, but yes, Underdog, man, they are doing great stuff in Peoria and Bloomington.
Springfield.
In Springfield. Use Sport Depot. They have a lot of new discs to select, so go check them out. A 297-foot par 3 here at hole 6. This one, it's blind. This tiny little pine tree actually conceals the basket, so you kind of lose out on the distance, understanding where you are distance-wise.
Yeah, and this one plays pretty uphill, so kind of opposite to the last one. 297 maybe plays closer to 320-ish. Not crazy, but enough to say if you're just looking at the sign, it's easy to leave it short, have that pine tree in the way. Players are mostly just going to look for the big hyzer, probably.
Yeah, I think the lefty spin plays a lot better for this hole than the righty spin.
I can see that. The line is more open out there. If you're taking the righty spike hyzer, there's a big tree that will pan into the vision here, probably. Yeah, that Dane's heading right for that you want to miss.
Which actually I realize now that's on the back side of the green.
Yeah.
So if you fade off of it, you're fine. If you hit it, you've gone long.
Yeah, I think there's actually one just farther to the right that's a big evergreen that does come into play if you're swinging that wide hyzer. It looked like Dane kind of pushed the straighter hyzer, which is what you're looking for. Carson kind of playing that same line. Get off the evergreen. Yeah, sneaks right through it. There you go. So he should be pretty close there. That tree's about 30 feet.
Yep. So even if you hit it, it's a good marker for having a good putt at it.
Yeah. Jared's pulling out the wider hyzer.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah, so this might have that big tree in play. Okay, no, he misses it, so he'll be 25 feet or so from there. Just right of the basket. So we got birdie putts for everybody.
Nice.
Let's see. Wow, Mark, there you go. Nice putt. Puts it in there from just outside circle, it seems.
Yeah, and he's a pretty quick putter. He just kind of gets up there, takes a quick look, and then putts it in. He's pretty solid. And I hope at some point in time I could say I have that level of putting at some point in time during my career. I think it's the older you get, the more settled in you are with your putting game. Gets kind of consistent.
Oh, man. Brandon, good-looking putt. Just fades out a little bit early on him.
I think there's a little bit of tentative behavior from Brandon. He's been fading off of the basket a lot, so I don't know if it's just the camera or an uncertain putting day. But
nice putt from Jared there. Yeah. And these, I'm serious about these baskets.
Sure.
They don't like. I don't think they like a hard putt. I don't think they like many putts, but I don't know if you.
They don't like doing their job.
If you sling a putt in there, they're not super happy with it sometimes. So
sure,
I can definitely see the kind of tentative approach coming through there.
Okay.
Plus, like you said, just tournament nerves, and it's tough out here.
Yeah, he's on his home track and trying
Park
to
job from Dane.
Put on a show. Finally hitting back even. Dane's definitely wanting to make a push to catch up. And thanks to Double Eagle Disc Golf, online and in-store retailer down in Bradenton, Florida. So if you're ever down there and you're watching the coverage, thanks, guys. But if you're here in Peoria, they're supporting us, which blows my mind. So thanks those guys. You talk through this.
Yeah, hole 7, we got 365. It plays significantly downhill, so a little bit less than 365 usually. Although we tend to get a headwind on this hole. Okay. Couple different gaps off the tee that you're going for. You got the wide hyzer, kind of the straight play, and the wide hyzer on the other side. So Mark's taking kind of the intermediate hyzer line. Looked good, but gets caught in the last tree. So that's kind of the tree that you need to miss on the righty hyzer line. Yeah. I would expect Dane to take the kind of higher, wider hyzer, just like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking a stall. It's more of a stall than
definitely,
a pushing
because you want to be pushing past the basket almost,
just like
and then
that.
Then just fading straight left instead of like you're saying, pushing and hyzering the whole way. Yep. So that was a nice shot from Dane. Carson probably taking the same line.
It appears
Seems like
so.
This is the same Thunderbird that he's been throwing.
He puts it really high.
Yeah, it just leaves it a little high. Not as much hyzer as he wanted. But, I mean...
He's circle 2 on the left-hand side. It's the right distance and everything. So get one of the things right and you'll still have an opportunity. So
definitely.
Jared definitely lining up the hyzer.
Yep.
Blocking my line, man. That's all right.
Yeah, he's disking up on this one. That looks like his destroyer, I think.
That looks like that pushing hyzer. But he manages to get around.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got so much power, he can afford to do that pushing hyzer on the outside and make it work.
Sure.
The lefty line is a little bit tricky. You've got... He's taking a straight line. Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. I'm not brave enough to take that line.
Circle's edge
but
left.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. A little bit deep and circle's edge, like you said. So up first we got Mark. Yeah, not his best run there, but easy par. He'll take it.
Absolutely. We got Carson from deep in circle 2.
Yep. Looks like about 50 feet or so.
Can he do it?
Just a little stepper. Man, that's such a good-looking putt from back there. Just he makes it look easy.
Yeah.
And if he airballs it even, it's not going more than 20, 25 feet past.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a ton of speed on it, just nice and controlled. Brandon gets it to stay.
Go.
There we go. Oh, yeah, give us a thumbs up. Nice
there you
putt.
go, man.
Yeah. There you go. Dane with his birdie putt as well. That's a nice putt right on the pole.
And I saw it, man. Yeah, that's one of the strong ones that had a chance if it was a couple inches higher, could have pushed out.
It's just scary, I'm telling you.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though, is like on these baskets, regardless of how good they catch, great putt from Jared. Yeah. Try to putt it like normal, right? So obviously, if you know yourself to be one of like the top 5% in power putts, like you should be dialing it back. But for consistency's sake, don't try to be dialing things off if you're scared that the basket's not going to catch.
Sure.
Let the basket try to do its job, and then I know it's sad or it'd be disappointed if the results didn't match up with your efforts.
Yeah.
So that's always the frustration. Great Lakes Discs. They're doing great stuff up in the Michigan area. Huge Discraft and DGA retailer, so go check out their stuff. Thanks for supporting the tour. And this is where we start getting into the really tight lines and some really bad rough on the sides of the fairway. So hole 8, a left to right moving sort of shot, just a really short chipper to the gold basket on the right. So these players are just wanting to see their disc just barely move off of the open gap.
Sit. Oh boy, that's exactly what you don't want to happen. The main shot is this righty flex forehand, just to keep it kind of in the middle. But if you flex or if you cut roll like that, it's a problem because that early early right side is nasty.
Yeah. And I mean the thing about disc golf is whenever there's a bend in the fairway, the miss usually is you want to be on the outside of the bend.
Yeah.
But given this hole, it baits everyone to take this inside line, and the miss is almost always early.
Yep.
So you end up hitting that rough, and so you don't really have like some sort of look to just upshot to the basket. So
that is such a tough shot that Mark's attempting there. The outside turnover.
Outside, yeah.
Man, that's tough.
That's got to be like nose up and like gliding and turning at the same time.
Yeah,
really
I think
tough to execute.
he doesn't really have the confidence in his forehand game, which is, I mean, it's really, that's what this hole's calling for. So I understand the play, but it's going to be a really tough birdie if you're taking that line. Carson.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that looks great. Oh, maybe a little deep actually.
I believe it is. Yeah, those trees are like in line with the basket.
Yeah, and you don't have much of a putt if you go behind them. There's a couple trees up on the green you'll see in a minute. It makes it real tricky. Dane, we can't see him in there. Oh man.
He was in there for. I actually trimmed the footage here. He was in there for like 45 seconds.
Wow, and I'm trying to figure out what he threw out of there. That's some sort of just spiky forehand high, or maybe
he
an
tried
overhead.
to do, I think, some kind of roller.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he tried to get it up high to get it to cut roll back to the basket, but it just pushed straight into that pine to the left side of Mark, and Mark pitches up.
It's just a tough spot. Now he's just got to make sure he gets his up and down from here and take care of business.
Take care of business.
There you go.
He definitely doesn't want this for his par.
No,
we'll just say that. But he's
not going to be happy either way, though. You'd rather save your bogey than do that and be looking at a really tough putt for bogey and maybe a double.
Oh, Dane.
Yeah, that's kind of maybe the.
There it is, man.
Good bid from Brendan again. Yeah, I'd love to see that putt just get a little bit flatter, and then just stay in the chains a little bit longer on the flight. Wow,
there it is.
that's
great.
That's one way to do it, Dane. Wow. Great shot.
And here we go, guys. Just for you, the very first PLD Disc Golf slow-mo.
Oh, there we go. Wow, what a shot.
That's crazy. Strong side of the basket with that counterclockwise spin. That was well executed, Dane, man. I know it's hard.
Bogey doesn't feel good, but it's
a consolation prize for bad score, but it's okay.
Oh, good bid from Carson. Yeah, so he actually had an open putt down deep of the basket, but couldn't quite connect. One thing we should note, because we've had Dane on coverage a couple times, his dad's not on the bag for this coverage.
True, yeah.
Because he's playing, I forget which division he's playing, but he's playing in the event today.
Yes, so he's gonna have some.
So I'll blame him for Dane messing that hole up.
Yeah.
Him not being on the bag.
Dane's gonna have a few words for Jake.
Yeah.
Dad, should have been there.
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's like, all right, I don't have to hear from him today. We love you, Jake.
There's some routine cleanups here.
Yeah, good cleanups.
Yeah.
Nothing too much going.
No birds. Surprising.
No birdies. Only 2 birdies on the round on this hole. One of them being myself and Tyler Mumm. It's a tricky little hole.
Okay.
You want to see more birdies, but it's tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, guys, this is a part of the Greater Peoria Tour. Once again, I think it's stop 4 of 8, finishing up with the Greater Peoria Open, a huge A tier that it's just gonna blow up.
It's
man.
gonna be so good.
Hole 9, the last of this front 9, a 276-foot par 3. Goal is to kind of just get it headed towards this blue basket and have it fade off of it.
Yep.
So for the righty backhand, you're looking for like an overstable approach disc thrown flat or baby hyzer. Just get it working left a tiny bit. You don't need a whole lot of forced motion right to left.
I think Jared's going mid here. Looks like he's rock 3.
Just
catches one of the late tree, or does that sneak through?
I struggle to remember.
Either way, it's a good shot.
Yep.
We'll have to wait and see. Tough lefty hole if you're not throwing a forehand.
Looks like a baseline putter. He's not going to kind of turn over.
Yeah, it wants a little bit more height on that, but anything through the gap is fine here. Like, par is okay. You'd love to get the birdie, but yeah, it's just a tight tunnel. It doesn't really come across on camera, but it's a tight tunnel, and you've got one tree at the end of the tunnel, right in the middle of the tunnel. So you kind of have to pick your side, or just.
I mean, that's not even the main obstacle for the most part. Yeah, you'd like to be down there, but if you don't get through the tunnel just in general, these branches on the left that you see...
Oh, they get nasty, too.
Unless you actually kick off and you go 40 feet left, you're actually caught underneath the canopy, and you have nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I think we'll see Mark have to challenge it, and, I mean, it's almost like a guaranteed bogey if you only get 100 feet off the down the fairway and get left.
That's a great shot from Dane. Carson's shot looked great too, I should note, but just caught that last middle tree that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what Mark has. Yeah, so he's over on the right side, fighting through these wide branches. That's a good shot. He'll have a putt from there.
It's a little short, but right on line. Yeah, that was well managed.
Yeah, it looks like Jared did not get through, and that is not a good approach shot. Catches the grass instead of the pine straw, and he'll have a long putt, it looks like.
Yeah. This is one of those unique fairways, too, where the ground play is greatly affected, because around the basket, it's pines, so you have pine needles. And then in the fairway that you're at, there's pines and pine needles.
Yep.
So, yeah, you go from needle to grass to needle, and sometimes if you're trying to rely on the ground play, you don't know.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of roots in the fairway that kind of sneak up on you, so I don't necessarily love relying on it for what you're looking for.
Everyone's got the capacity here to put it in the air and rely on their skill. So
definitely.
Jared, close it out.
That's a nice putt from Jared. There you go. Yeah, that's a good par save, 'cause that's not an easy one. The low ceiling too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good putt.
I know Jared's been having some putting woes, but he's getting it pulled back together from what we saw in previous coverage. But
man, yeah.
This one, I can level with Mark, and that straddle putt, you want to get a little bit more shoulder contraction to get your arm up. And so to have that little nose down and not get your arm up, makes it really low.
Nice putt from Carson from a knee. Look at that CTP. Someone put that thing close.
Hey, man, yeah.
Oh, wait. It was me.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Forehand?
Yeah, you know it.
Okay. Very cool. What'd you throw?
I threw a PD.
Oh,
nice little soft forehand. That's a great birdie from Dane.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Should just be cleanups from Mark here.
I believe so, yep.
Just Mark.
Actually, yeah, I think it's just Mark. But yeah, so looking at the scores here, everyone's under par. It's Brandon
we do have
too,
Brandon
man.
too.
Yeah. Okay rounds here. I think that they'll want to definitely score as we get through the first few wooded holes of the back nine and then get back into the open. They'll want to put up some more numbers. But guys, we're back again. This is tournament coverage season. We're going to have a lot of coverage coming at you. So please like, comment, subscribe.
There's to Jacob warming up.
Mr. Zimmerman piping the fairway. But yeah, your guys' support is awesome. I do this for you. If you guys like what you see, let me know. I'm going to keep doing it regardless of whether you do or not. So
I like what you do, Payton. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ben. He is not paid for this. No. So that is true, honest opinion. But thanks, guys. We'll see you on the back nine.
See you soon.